visiting us one more time. This video is going to be about how to create a browser extension. In this specific case, a Chrome-based extension that's also compatible with Edge. So our primary target is going to be Edge. For this tutorial, I have gone to the official tutorial from Microsoft, create an extension tutorial, and they also tell you that a lot of the APIs that you can use in here, a lot of the structure you can use in here, also comes from the Chrome extensions help. So you can also go there to learn how the extensions work. So far, what we could do is go to tutorial. There is something important here on how to inject JavaScript libraries into extension, because our end goal is for every page to be able to inject some custom JavaScript that we want. So what I did was I read this tutorial first, which tells us that we need, actually part 1 tells us that we just need an empty folder with a manifest JSON file. So we're gonna do that first. So I'm gonna go here, new file, to my empty folder. So I'm gonna manifest, and I'm going to copy this here. That's the manifest about my extension. And instead of that, I'm going to tell it, and this JavaScript is going to remove all the pictures, or set all the pictures in the screen to some dummy pictures. So replace, actually, picture replacer, an extension to replace all images in a page with something else. All right. So one thing we want to do is that we have some icons here, but so we kinda do have to, let's try doing them. We have to add the icons. Let's see if that's a requisite. PNG format. Let's do 128 by 128 icon. So I'm just gonna go to Paint. Actually, Paint.net. So I am trying to load Paint.net here. And let's see in here. I'm gonna set the image. I'm gonna resize that to 128. And non-maintain aspect ratio, so I can do 120 by 128. And I'm just gonna do something like this. Don't tell me why. It's gonna be my logo. Maybe some green around. So there we go. Oops, that doesn't look good. Maybe that looks good. There we go. I'm gonna save it as in my folder. So let me save it. And my folder right here. So I'm gonna save it there. And it's supposed to be PNG, so I'm gonna call it extension icon 128 x 128.png. So now should be able to see it here. And I'm going to close this here. Then I'm going to create the directory that it told me to create, which is icons. I'm going to move that one there. Alrighty, so let's see. Oh, and also we have to update that. Icons. I only did the 128. So icons, extension icon. We're not gonna do the pop-up dialog. And yeah, so we're not gonna do browser action because what we actually want to do is we want to inject content. We don't want any dialogues. We just want to inject some content automatically on every page. So if you were to read here, over here, I'm sorry. So one important thing to know is that we want to expose things to our injected code. The URLs are going to be like this. So that basically means, hey, installing the browser inside the extension folder that you have, go inside the images and then get that image. So this unique IDs for the extension install. So that's what this section is explaining. So in our case, what we want to do is inject our JS content for every page. So in this example, they are injecting the jQuery library, and then sequentially, they're telling the browser to load this. So we want to do inject two JS scripts, and the way to do it is we're gonna first copy this. Let's see. So I'm guessing this will be, we'll have to create an images folder here, I guess. New folder images, and maybe we can put the dummy image there. So I'm gonna be back in here on, actually I'm gonna replace it with the same thing. I'm just gonna cheat a little bit and I'm gonna put the same thing here. Dummy. So every image that we see on the page, we're gonna replace it with that. So the first thing we need to do, I guess, based on what we see in the tutorial is, in order to access that, we're gonna have to tell the manifest that, hey, this thing needs to be available. Oh, that should be a PNG. And then all URLs, that should be fine. And then our two, let's do add a folder. And let's go lib. But this time we're gonna do a file image replacer JS. And what this one's gonna be, just gonna be a global function, which is usually not a great idea, but for now it should be fine. Replace all images. And you have to pass, actually nothing. I'm just gonna call var OLMs.